Hey there everybody, it's Mr. Practical with the Practical Gun Guys. We're here going over the Ghost Ink magazine extension device for the Glock 42. I picked up the Glock 42 not too long ago, and right away, before I even purchased it, I knew I wanted to get some kind of a magazine extension device for it. Just because, as you can see, when you grip the firearm, there's really, I don't like that pinky hanging off there. Most people don't, and so they get some kind of magazine extension device for it. And I knew that the Glock factory model floor plate, the extension that they provide, is just an extension. It's just a replacement base plate or floor plate. And so I was wondering if there was something that made it so that the magazine actually extended. And I was lucky enough to find one that Ghost Ink provided. So we'll go over the installation instructions for that, and there'll be a separate review for the Ghost Ink MED as it functions with the firearm. So today we'll just talk about how it installs. So first things first, we'll clear the firearm, take out the magazine, make sure that it's empty, set that off to the side. Okay, and this is only all you're going to need. The Ghost Ink will provide the extension itself and then a replacement spring. And then all you'll use is the regular Glock magazine itself, the Glock follower, and the Glock base plate. Pretty simple, pretty standard. The tricky thing is getting this follower off of here. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Ghost Ink does provide instructions in the case itself, which is nice. It's pretty handy. Otherwise, you could just watch the YouTube videos like we're doing here, right? So yeah, this is all you need. If you don't have a small screwdriver, some kind of pen or something like that to get the base plate off of here, would be beneficial. And then I use pliers. Ghost Ink says that you need to pinch the magazine itself like this to get that follower or the base plate off. And that's a lot harder than it sounds. It's a lot harder than it sounds to squeeze that magazine together, because these things are lined with steel on the inside, right? So you got to really squeeze them. And interestingly enough, I didn't have the thumb power for it. So what we're going to do is we'll use these pliers to kind of wiggle that off and make things work for us. All right. So first things first, let's go ahead and get the this other stuff out of the way so we can get working on this. And what I do is you're going to want to push this forward. So grip it almost upside down in reverse, as you would if you were going to load your magazine into your firearm. Put your thumb on the base plate there, and you're going to want to pull this off with your pliers. Pull the side off right here, because there's a little catch right here that if you can see it, there's a little catch right here that catches in the base plate to the magazine, and that's what makes it so difficult to take off. So if you grab the base plate and pull off a little bit off to the side, you see it slide off a little bit. And you want to keep that pressure there. Come over to the other side and do the same thing. Just kind of pry it off. If I can get a good grip. All right, so there it is, nice and loose. Pop that in there. That's what you need the armorer's tool or a screwdriver for. You got that little round piece on the inside there. That's what is another retention device. So pop that in there so you can't see it. And so you can see in here, I've already disengaged it from the catch on either side. See, disengaged. Still retained because there's the lip there. All you have to do is push it off. And make sure your thumb stays there, because the spring on the inside will shoot this piece out. I'll show you in a second. So that comes right off just like that. And then the spring's coming, and you want to keep your thumb there to retain this piece. Otherwise, it's going to go flying, and you'll never find it. It's a pain in the neck. So there you go. You've taken your magazine apart. Okay. Now, Ghost says when you open this piece, that you need to make sure that when you're taking the follower off of this stock spring, that you keep an eye on the orientation. Okay. It's going to it plays a big part. You need to make sure that you put it on right. So I know that it's coming this way, which means, see how the springs are oriented? I need to put it on this end. It's not gonna fit. Ghost does a nice job of making sure that the base section is too wide for the follower, which is nice, but you wanna make sure that you get the follower on the right direction. Otherwise the spring is gonna get all wonky. So force that in there. There we go. Pop that into, oh, you wanna save that actually. What you wanna do first is put the magazine extension device onto the magazine, right? So simple, it slides in, there's little grooves in there for you, pops right on in, and then it's retained, nice and simple. Make sure the angle of the follower matches the angle of the magazine itself. So slide that on in, just like that, okay? And then using your thumb again, depress or compress that spring. Make sure the retention device is in place and covering the spring. Slide it in a little bit. Grab your base plate again. Just slide that sucker on. And there it is. You heard it click. That retention device clicked on nice and easy. And there it is. Pretty simple, right? And what this will do for you, you get an extra spring. You get to keep the stock spring. I got 2 of the stock magazines, and I got 2 of these MED devices, is what Ghost calls them. Keep the stock spring just in case. Always good to have spare parts. And what this does for you is it not only gives you an extra grip, which you'll see in a second, but it also gives you an extra 2 rounds in the stock magazine itself. And the way that Ghost Ink puts it on their packaging, it says more bullets equals more life, which I completely agree with in this instance. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look and see how that works with the firearm itself. So slide that on in there. Make sure there's no rounds in there. Just do another check. Slide that in. And you get that extra space, which is very, very nice. Not only do you get the extra pinky space, but you also get an extra 2 rounds in the magazine, which is phenomenal. So you get 8 rounds instead of 6. So it's 8 plus 1 instead of 6 plus 1. And that's how you do the MED device from Ghost Ink. Nice and simple. It did take me a second to figure out that I needed to use pliers to get that base plate off for the retention, because man, that was a hassle. But once I figured that out, it became a cinch. Nice and easy, nice and quick. Okay, that's that. Hope you guys liked the video. If you do, go ahead and subscribe. Check us on our website, www.thepracticalgunguys.com. Like I said, there's going to be another video for the actual review of this as a functional device, the MED magazine extension device. There's going to be another video review of this for functionality's sake. So go ahead and check that out, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.